Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this August 13th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Sunday out there so far. Everybody has a great Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your tropical weather outlook satellite imagery here. What's going on in the tropics, also across the lower 48. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location. And also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, Monday, Tuesday, and also for Wednesday, as we do have more severe weather for day 4 to talk about. And also, we're going to take a look at the 7-day rainfall totals across the lower 48 over the next 7 days. So stick around to the entire video. Do not miss a beat of my forecast, and let's get the show on the road here, folks. And we're going to dive on into the forecast now. Okay, as you can see here, the tropics are pretty quiet at this time. We got a little system here moving off the African coast. Pretty, and this here across the southern portion of the tropical Atlantic, moving into the Caribbean. Nothing organized at this time. More showers and storms just kind of scattered about through portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, also down into the Gulf of Mexico, northwest of the Bahamas. We got an old frontal boundary extending from southern Florida all the way back into the northern portions of the Atlantic Ocean. Also, we got a little low pressure system spinning over southeast Canada, bringing some moisture to the portions of the northeastern United States. Also, we got two little systems here over portions of the Midwest and also the upper Midwest as well. The plains region as well, back over in the desert southwest, got a little system over there trying to bring in some monsoonal flow back into your region over there to bring showers and storms to your vicinity as well. Alright, you can see on the radar view here, you can see a little bit better. I had to go back to the National Weather Service radar. The other radar, like I said, it's all messed up, so I'm going back to the weather radar here again. But anyway, we got scattered about showers and storms over southeast Canada, back down in towards Maine. Got a little bit of shower activity off the New York coast, also off the Boston coast as well. Connecticut region as well, coastline. Got a special marine warning there in effect. Also, we got that frontal boundary extending back down and across southern Florida to the Florida Keys, Gulf of Mexico, toward the Bahamas. Got some showers and storms for you guys. Here's that big area you seen on the satellite imagery radar composite there. Showers and storms extending from Minnesota all the way down through Missouri, also down in the portion of West Tennessee, northern Arkansas, also back in the portion of Oklahoma and Kansas as well. This is a big cluster of showers and storms. This will continue to push on off to the east throughout the day and bring showers and storms for you guys over here in Indiana, Ohio, portion of West Virginia, also into Kentucky and Tennessee as well, maybe northern Alabama, also northern Mississippi, and maybe northern Georgia later on this afternoon and evening for you guys there. Alright, we got more widespread showers and storms over portion of North Dakota and South Dakota, moving into Minnesota. Also, we got showers and storms also extending into portions of Nebraska, back into portion of Wyoming. And we got scattered activity over into portions of New Mexico, Arizona, also Utah, southern Nevada, and also over in central California as well, and a little bit across northern Mexico also. Alright, we're going to move on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Sorry, I had to get some water there, folks. There's that little special marine warning you seen on that radar there. We got a huge real estate area of heat advisory extending from southeast Virginia all the way through eastern North Carolina, through all of South Carolina, except a couple counties there up around the Greenville, Spartanburg area. But you're going to be hot as well, so you might as well expect some heat advisory there, maybe topping off well above 100 degrees anyway. Also around the Atlanta metro area, do not have no heat advisory there, but expect heat advisory, indices over pretty much over 100 still. Alright, we got some over in eastern Georgia, central Georgia, southern Florida, This is heat advisories also for northeastern Alabama, also northern portion of Mississippi, southern Tennessee, central Arkansas, portions much of Oklahoma and west central Texas and southeast Texas as well. Also heat advisories also for central and northern California, also in the portion of Oregon and Washington State. We got sets of heat warnings in effect for you guys here in Florida, back into much of Georgia, also much of Alabama, much of Mississippi, much of Arkansas, all of Louisiana, much of Texas, and eastern and southern portions of, Oklahoma. Flood watch also in effect for southern Missouri. Also a couple counties over here in New Mexico as well. Got some beach hazard statement for portions of New York State and also up in the portion of Wisconsin and Minnesota. Also, sets of heat warnings also in effect for you guys here in portions of Oregon and Northern California. Red flag warnings there as well. Sets of heat watches in effect for you guys up here in portions of Idaho and also in the northeastern portion of Washington State as well. Alaska looks good. Hawaii and Chain Island looks a-okay at this time. All right, Storm Prediction Center. Excuse me. All right. We got a slight and a marginal risk up here in Maine, all the way down into portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, and also into portions of Boston area. General thunderstorms elsewhere from portions of New York State through the Carolinas down to the Florida Keys to eastern Louisiana, all the way back to New Mexico and California and Nevada. Also up into the Dakotas, Minnesota, also in the Wisconsin and northern Illinois as well. All right, we got a marginal risk extending from portion of Minnesota back to portion of New Mexico, all the way over to Georgia, also into portions of Kentucky and Tennessee. We have a slight risk also in effect for Kentucky, Tennessee, back to North Texas, also into Kansas, enhanced risk pretty much over Missouri and eastern Kansas as well. All right, if you live in Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, Missouri, Rogers, Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas, and Bella Vista, Arkansas, enhanced risk for severe weather today. If you're in Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Kansas City, Missouri, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in Boston, Massachusetts, Atlanta, Georgia, Omaha, Nebraska, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, marginal risk for severe weather coming up this afternoon. All right, tornado probability for today. 2% in the green, 5% in the brown, pretty much over 5%, pretty much over Missouri. All right, if you live in Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, Missouri, Jefferson City, Missouri, Salina, Missouri, Pittsburgh, Kansas, 5% risk for a tornado. If you live in Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, 2% risk for a tornado this afternoon. Damaging winds. We got 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow, 30% in the red, 30% pretty much over Kansas and Missouri. If you live in Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, Missouri, Rogers, Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas, Bella Vista, Arkansas, 30% risk for damaging winds, 15%. This includes Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Kansas City, Missouri, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma. 5%. This includes Boston, Massachusetts, Atlanta, Georgia, Omaha, Nebraska, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky for damaging winds this afternoon. Take a look at the large hail. Probability 15% in the yellow, 5% in the brown in the northeast. Same in the Midwest, also to the Ohio River Valley, Tennessee River Valley, 5 and 15%. If you live in Memphis, Tennessee, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Kansas City, Missouri, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, 15% risk for large hail. If you live in Boston, Massachusetts, Omaha, Nebraska, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, Lincoln, Nebraska, 5% risk for large hail this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at your Monday forecast. Okay, we got a general thunderstorm from portions of the northeast through New York State, back to Michigan, all the way back to Wisconsin, portion of Minnesota, all the way down to Mississippi to the Florida Keys, including the Florida Panhandle, Louisiana, Texas, all the way back into portions of New Mexico, Arizona, and also in Nevada and California. We have a marginal risk extending all the way from portions of Pennsylvania, all the way down into South Carolina, all the way back to Tennessee and Kentucky, all the way back in Illinois. Slight risk for severe weather in the yellow in the mid-Atlantic region, all the way back into Kentucky and Tennessee. Alrighty, if you live in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in the New York, Chicago, Illinois, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, a marginal risk for severe weather on your Monday. Let's take a look at the tornado probability. We have a 2% in the green, 5% in the brown, pretty much over the Washington, D.C. vicinity. Baltimore, Maryland. If you live in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Arlington, Virginia, and Alexandria, Virginia, Columbia, Maryland, 5% risk for a tornado on Monday. Also, if you live in Chicago, Illinois, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 2% risk for a tornado. Damaging winds, 5% in brown, 15 in the yellow. Alright, if you live in Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, 15% risk for a anywhere 25-mile given for damaging winds over 58 miles per hour. Live in New York, Chicago, Illinois, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, 5% risk for damaging winds over 58 miles per hour. And here's a look at the large hail, 5% in the brown. This includes Chicago, Illinois, Baltimore, Maryland, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., and Virginia Beach, Virginia for large hail, any larger than a quarter. All right, let's move on to day number 3, which is Tuesday. Alrighty, day number 3, Tuesday coming up. Alright, well, we got general thunderstorm for portions of New Hampshire, also toward Massachusetts, also toward New York State, down to the Florida Keys, all the way back to Louisiana and Texas, and again over here in portions of New Mexico, Arizona, all the way back to California, Nevada, and Oregon states. Alright, we have a marginal risk up here in portions of New York City, all the way down to the Eastern Carolinas, and a slight risk over here in Eastern Virginia, and also around the Washington, D.C. area as well. Alright, if you live in the slight risk area, this includes Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. That's 15% risk. That would be a 15% risk anyway. Slight risk. Marginal risk include New York, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Raleigh, North Carolina, Newark, New Jersey City, New Jersey. Probability, like I said, 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow. Just like I said, way to Hampton, Virginia and surrounding areas, 5%. New York, all the way to Jersey City, New Jersey, and surrounding areas. All right, we're going to take a look at your Wednesday forecast now. This is day 4. We do have more severe weather to talk about. For a day over Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota as well. All right. We're going to click on day 4 so we can get the information. All right. If you live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Fargo, North Dakota, Duluth, Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota, this is where the 15% risk for severe weather. A marginal risk will be outlined in the surrounding areas. This includes North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, also Illinois, Wisconsin, also northern Michigan, and portions of southern Canada. You will be in a slight risk for severe weather on Wednesday, and this will be, when you see day 3 tomorrow, it will be highlighted around that. I would not be surprised to see the 15% kind of bounce around over the next several days in different areas of the country. So just give you a heads up on that as well, and also more marginal risk as well. All right, we're going to move on to the rainfall totals across the lower 48. The model of sniffing out something down here in the Gulf of Mexico and taking it up the East Coast. That's why you see the heaviest precipitation down in the eastern Gulf of Mexico to the Bahamas, off the southeast coast, mid-Atlantic coast, and out to sea. The computer model is trying to sniff out something. I don't know if it's going to be a tropical system or what, but it's trying to sniff out something and taking it up to the northeast along the pretty much along the Gulf waters of the Atlantic and on out to sea. But anyway, elsewhere across the area, kind of heavy precipitation, maybe in the central Gulf, eastern Carolinas, all the way up into the northeastern United States, of course, Maine, southern Canada, southeast Canada, going to get some heavy precipitation as well over the next 7 days. Also, again, over portions of Michigan, all the way back into portions of the Dakotas. Also, again, from Pennsylvania, all the way back into Missouri. Also, portions of Oklahoma and Kansas and Nebraska as well. Also, the model sniffing out something too coming up through Mexico. Also bringing that monsoonal flow. Look like pretty much going to come into the southwestern United States, over to Arizona, also into New Mexico, also into Utah and Colorado. May bring some precipitation to you. Will bring heavy precipitation to you guys as well. Maybe a couple inches of rain as well. Alright, in the green areas, be lighter amounts. Pretty much elsewhere in the areas that have no precipitation, it will remain dry in those vicinities. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. Have a great Sunday afternoon, folks.